What is up? It's your boy John Shreve, aka Mr. Tell Like It Is. Today, guys, we are doing two things. We're gonna react to Renaissance Periodization's video with Dr. Mike. What is the king chest exercise? And I'm gonna put together the best overall chest routine based off some of the things he said. Now, before we get started, this video made me giggle like a little schoolgirl. I was like, oh, because we're gonna go through this video, and when I was watching, I was like, I knew it. I've been doing this for years. Evidence-based research training is great. It gives us a point of view and things that can and cannot work, and then it also keeps us in a box from doing some stupid shit. But like I said, nothing will ever beat the combination of an educated trainer with years of experience. I'm not saying I'm the best, I'm saying one of, but I do have 20 years of coaching people in person and the education to back it up. So let's watch this video, react a bit, then I'm gonna go down to the lab and I'm gonna put together the perfect chest routine that you can do. So let's get into it.
There's actually a spectrum of pressing angles. If you've done bench dips, it does stimulate the pecs, but only the lowest possible fibers of your pecs. Regular dips, still low pec stimulation. Decline presses, flat presses, low incline presses, medium incline presses, high incline presses, overhead barbell presses, which still utilize the very upper part of your upper chest.
And I've been saying this for absolute years. When it comes to programming, say if someone has 2 upper days a week, and I wanna really fill in the gaps to make sure that you're getting your quota in terms of training each muscle group twice a week. So my chest day is going to have some shoulders onto it, and on my shoulder day, my shoulder's gonna have some chest onto it. Now, how do I do that? Well, it's all about the angles. So what do? Is I take some of the angles from one day and put them on another day. If I wanna get some chest and shoulders in, I'm gonna do not only overhead pressing, but I'm also gonna do a little bit of that 65-degree incline, because that's gonna incorporate some pec minor and some interior delt as well as some lateral delts.
The triceps get a real good situation out of every kind of press that you can do, from bench dips all the way to shoulder presses.
I said this before, when it comes to understanding training, we have to really understand what the muscles are actually doing. Now, we're talking about chest for this standpoint. When we talk about the chest and the delts and the lats, what are we thinking about? Well, the chest, the shoulder, and the lats, they move this part of the arm. That's it. If we have someone who is an amputee that doesn't have this part of the arm here, they can still train the chest, the delts, and the lats. So when it comes to chest, we're just doing shoulder adduction at a bunch of different angles. The difference between straightening the arm out totally is that's when the triceps come in. For us to be able to do a press, we need the triceps to be engaged. Because of the triceps, we can load the chest even more. If we're just gonna do chest flies, we can't load chest flies anywhere near as much as we can bring the arms in this way and start pressing. So when it comes to the triceps are going to be involved in every part of pressing, because in order to press, well, guess what? We need the triceps to push.
If you want the best overall chest hypertrophy angle, this has been studied in the lab, from one exercise, low incline, 15 degrees or so, 30 degrees, somewhere between those two is where you're probably gonna get your best hypertrophy for overall chest results.
Boom, 15 degrees, he said it, 15 between 30, but here's how it goes, guys. Most benches, and I tell you, I've used a bunch of benches. Most benches don't have that 20-degree incline. They don't, right? Most even don't have the 15-degree incline. It usually goes from like your regular incline to like a 30, then like a 45, then or like that. So if you're lucky enough, if you have the bench that goes from flat to 15, that is the king of pressing. It is the all-encompassing exercise that is going to give you your best bang for your buck. It's got a little bit of that flat, and it's got a little bit of that incline. 15-degree incline is the best you can do. And again, when it comes to it, if you can get a bench that's 15-degree, even 20-degree, you're perfectly fine. In the meantime, we're gonna go down to my lab. I'm gonna show you guys how I put together the most well-rounded chest workout for you. And guess what? I'm doing it in my lab, aka my basement. That is a home gym. Here's a way you can still be a minimalist with what you have. Barbell, dumbbell, bench, and some cables. Let's get after it. When it comes down to how many exercises we really need to train to get the entire chest stimulated for muscle growth, 3 exercises I'm gonna put together that are gonna tackle the entire chest the best way that we were already talking about. We want to start off your exercise with a 15-degree incline press. You might not get that lucky, but if you only have one that just doesn't do 15 degree, what you can do is you can just elevate the back of it slightly. So if you got like 2 big plates or even a riser, you could put it underneath of the back of the bench to raise up that little bit of degree that you might need. Now, when it comes to your best bang for your buck in terms of the incline or how you're gonna stimulate the chest. If you don't have a cambered bar, which most people don't have a cambered bar, doing a 15-degree incline dumbbell press is gonna be your best bang for your buck. To make it simple, do a reps from 6 to 12 reps, and then keep that tempo with at least a controlled tempo, but give yourself at least 1 second at the bottom and control the top. So if you do like a 2-second negative to 1 second stretch at the bottom, and then a powerful concentric to the top and back down, that's gonna keep you in that sweet spot of around maybe 24 seconds for the minimum, 24, 30 seconds for the minimum rep range to around almost a minute for the top end. You're gonna first off your first exercise basically from floor to floor, planting the feet on the ground, making sure that your feet are a little bit under your knees, kicking the dumbbells back and sitting back, right? From here, then readjust your feet again, right? Now, we don't wanna pinch your shoulder blades because when we pinch your shoulder blades, it's gonna really shorten our clavicles. We wanna do shoulders back and away from your ears, depressing the shoulders. Then from here, open up the arms slightly on an angle, stacking the joints, making sure the fist, wrists, and elbows stay underneath the dumbbells the entire time. Pressing all the way up from here, and then here's what we're gonna do. 1001, 1002, stretch, drive, right? We don't have to go any lower than that, but use the dumbbells allows us to get nice and deep, nice stretch from here and drive up. And remember, when you're finished your exercise or your set, finish at the bottom. Every exercise you do is gonna put you naturally into the stretch part of the lift as your last rep. So lower it down 2 seconds and then we can dump the weight away. If you don't have dumbbells, if you don't wanna use dumbbells, it's completely fine. 15-degree dumbbell press, 15-degree Smith machine press. It can be 15-degree barbell press if you want to. Let's go to the next exercise. Now, your second exercise is gonna be a 30-degree incline press. Remember, we're trying to hit that pec minor part of the chest while hitting everything else. And the 15-degree does the best of both worlds. And for most machines, that basically takes care of that angle anyway. It can be your regular 30-degree barbell press, 30-degree dumbbell if you want to do it again. If you have a camera bar, do that as well too. If you have a machine, do that as well too. Your second exercise is gonna tackle that next incline that's gonna help develop your chest even more. From here, we're gonna do same thing. We can keep it to that 6 to 12 reps, making it super simple and easy. We don't have to change the rep scheme up to trick the muscle. We can literally do this entire workout, this same rep scheme. Unrack the bar, going from here, then we're gonna take the bar from here. Again, same fundamentals as before. Reset your feet, making sure your knees are a little bit under your feet. Shoulders back and away from your ears, chest nice and tall. Think of when you're pulling the weight down of doing an inverted row. So when I'm pulling the weight down for that 2 seconds, I'm gonna pull my chest up at the same time. So it's gonna be a 1001, 1002, stretch, drive. 1001, 1002, stretch, drive. And remember, when we're pressing the weight, we wanna make sure the fist, wrist, and elbows stay on this weight the entire time. I'm literally not even grabbing this weight. It's balancing on that nice meaty part of my hand while I'm keeping my elbow stacked, and that's gonna keep the weight in that proper position. If I over internally rotate, this bar is gonna fall off onto my chest, and if I externally rotate too much, it's gonna just not feel good at all. We wanna make sure those elbows stay stacked. Keep going from here, and then when you're done, stretch, and then boom, right? If you're by yourself, let's make sure we go to like a couple reps of failure so we know we can actually put the weight back up. You can also put your safety racks here as well too. But again, we wanna finish with a good stretch and then racking it back up. Now, let's go to the next exercise. 4 sets of cable flies coming from high to low. And that's gonna fill that little gap here, that under boob. We're gonna emphasize a big stretch, and just to keep tension even higher, here's where we're going to increase the amount of reps. Now remember, when we're increasing reps, all we're doing is increasing the time under tension, right? So from here, we're gonna take a step out from here, get ourselves locked in, making sure that our feet are shoulder width apart so we're not trying to do a balancing act. We're gonna keep the chest nice and high, a little bit of bend down, opening up. We're gonna press forward first, making sure those cables are staying the same angle as my arms. Opening up, stretching up, letting our chest dip in, keeping the chest nice and tall, letting the elbows come back for a stretch, and then driving through. Opening up again, stretch, and drive through. We're gonna do 10 to 15 reps here, right? And we're gonna do this all the way until we come close to failure. Now, if you wanna go to failure for each exercise, one time, that's completely fine. Or if you just want to take it close to failure, that's good too. But make sure that we keep intensity high. That last rep, let it come back, stretch you out, and then put it back. Just to summarize this thing and wrap it up. 4 sets of each exercise. Starting off with 15-degree incline dumbbell press, a 6 to 12 reps, and a tempo of 2 seconds down, 1 second positive stretch, and 1 second positive. Then we're gonna do 30-degree incline barbell press, 4 sets again there too, 6 to 12 reps with the same rep scheme. It can be barbell, Smith machine, or whatever machine that making sure that it's that incline. Then we're gonna finish off with doing cable flies from high to low, emphasizing the bottom part of your chest. We're gonna do that for 10 to 15 reps, 4 sets, a 1 second negative, a 2 second stretch, and a 1 second positive. We're gonna take all sets close to failure. If you wanna increase intensity, you can take 1 set from each exercise to failure to make intensity that much higher. And then when you're done adding triceps in there, the world's your oyster. Pick 2 tricep exercises that you like the most, that'll give you the best stretch and the best overall stimulus, and then take those for 3 sets each. And then if you want to, you can do a double drop set of both of those exercises, or you can do a rest pause if you want to, or any set intensifier that can bring a lot of tension to your triceps to match your pumped chest. Let's get back up to the office. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are having a little trouble in your fitness journey, you've either started and you want to waste any time getting to your goals, or you've made some progress and you just don't know how to sustain the rest of your journey, guys, hit the link in the description below. Get on a sales call with me, not anybody else, with me. 15 minutes, we talk about your goals, we plan things out, and then see what we can achieve together. Anyway, guys, until next time, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.